Hi, my name is Janet Wilson. I'm part of Occupy the Roads and also the Pueblo House, known as the Little Red House. And I'm doing this little documentary basically for the teenage pregnancy problem that we have here in Pueblo, interviewing young people to find out exactly what are they learning in school and what do they know already. We've got 3 kids here and we've got 3 schools covered, right? So
Yeah.
grade school, middle school, and high school. How old are you?
12.
12. And what grade are you in?
7.
I wanted to find out, what do kids your age know, and what do you find out in school, and what are they teaching you? And so let's start with this. When did they talk about sex? Or is there a certain age or a certain grade that you were in?
My health teacher last year, when
Yeah,
I was in 6th grade,
yeah.
she brought a doctor in and taught us about it.
Oh, so that's good. So a doctor, what, did you know the doctor?
Mm-mm.
So the doctor was from here, from Pueblo?
Yeah.
Male or female?
Male.
Male. And so what did he say?
He was just teaching us, I don't know,
Was he asking questions?
no,
Or
he
did
just
they?
taught us a little bit if you're too young, how to stay away from it, but
Yeah.
I forgot what he said.
You don't remember what he said? Do you have a boyfriend?
Mm-mm.
No, you're too young.
Yeah.
You're 12. What do you think is a good age to have a boyfriend?
Probably your 2nd or 3rd year of high school.
2nd or 3rd year, so that would make you 15 or 16, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. And the thing is, you know what? It's not embarrassing to talk about things. It's better to know, don't you think? Would you think?
Yeah.
Let's say if you could take health education or sex education in school, what would be the most important thing for you to know?
Probably sex education so you don't make a mistake.
Do you think that kids, if they know how their body works or how intimacy works between a man and a woman, do you think that would make them more likely to have sex, or would you think it would be better?
They'd be more careful.
They'd be more careful. So having sex education in the school would be a good thing, right? Because then people would say, oh, well, I know how that works, right?
Mm-hmm.
What are you comfortable telling me how much you know now? What you or your friends kind of figured out, and how do you get your information?
Mostly the teachers, and they tell us stuff, or
So which teachers would this be, like?
my health teacher
Oh, the health teacher.
from last year, but my teacher that does it this year, he won't do it.
Oh, is he embarrassed, do you think?
No, he don't like that stuff.
Oh, so you had it before though with this lady, right? And was she comfortable talking to you guys about it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so what kind of questions did you ask? Did she ask you questions, or did you ask questions?
No, she just told us the appropriate age and be careful what you do.
Mm-hmm. Does she talk about what sex actually is, and how when a boy and girl come together, what's normal behavior? And
Yeah.
yeah,
I don't really remember.
you don't remember? What's the one thing you would want to know?
Probably how it would work or something.
Mm-hmm. So do you know how babies are formed and how they're made and how they grow? Have you seen anything about that in school?
Mm-mm.
Oh, okay. Such education in school, would that be a good thing?
Yeah. Just so you know what's happening and going on.
Yeah. So what's happening with your body,
Mm-hmm.
too? Do you know about menstrual cycles and things like that? Do you know that women bleed?
Yeah.
Each month? Okay. It's your body's way of getting you ready, right?
Yeah.
So they call it a period, and you have a period, and you menstruate. And do you know how pregnancy happens?
Not really.
Are there any things that you've heard that people say, can you get pregnant from kissing? We think it's important for young women like yourself to have that knowledge so that you can go out and make some really wise choices, right? And so if you think that you can get pregnant from kissing, that's a very different thing, isn't it? But you can't get pregnant from kissing. So, and everybody wants to kiss a boy because that's kind of what happens through life, right? It's this cycle. Do you ever get excited when you see someone, a boy that you think you like?
Sometimes.
And doesn't it feel good when they notice you, or you notice them, or you get a little tingling, right? And you get excited. What would you like to know that I can help you with? And I don't know, do you have these conversations with your mom?
No.
Okay. Sometimes parents don't really feel comfortable talking about things like that, but it's... Have you ever seen a boy naked? No. Do you know what a male's body looks like?
No.
Are you curious to know what a male body looks like?
Not really.
Not really? Do you know what a female's body looks like?
Yeah.
You know what your own body looks like, right? Do you ever wonder, with all the parts that you have, how they all work?
Yeah.
I know. Wouldn't it be great if you could take that in school? Do you know where your urine comes from? Not really? Do you know where your bowel movements come from?
No.
No? Oh, see? I'll tell you. We got to get Dr. Oz or somebody to go to your school. What do you think is a good age for kids to learn about their bodies and sex and boys?
Probably like 13, so they don't make their own choice. Nothing.
So when you say wrong choice, what does that mean?
Like if they were to like see a guy and they liked him, but like he does something wrong and like they regret it.
Yeah. Okay, let's say you meet a boy and you really like him, and you're in the backseat of a car and it's getting all funky and you're getting all excited, and I mean that's what happens. That's a normal behavior, right? Boys want to check out the girls' bodies, and the girls are curious to see what the boys' bodies, and so you start experimenting, and that's what happens. Sometimes it's not intentional because you just don't think about it because you get caught up in the moment. And sometimes when a boy likes you, it feels really good.
Yeah.
If a boy really, really liked you and he said, "Oh, can we do this?" Would you be able to say no? Or would you think, "Oh, it's too much pressure"?
Yeah. Like, I don't know. Like, I'd probably say no.
Yeah, but you don't know for sure, would you? Because you get caught up in the moment, and if it feels good, then how, and you want to, so wouldn't it be better just to know, okay, how do I protect myself? And you're in grade?
Ninth
grade, so you go to high school?
Yeah.
And you're how old?
14.
So in school, are you taking classes for health and sex education and stuff like that?
Mm-mm.
You don't get any sex education at all? Would you like sex education in school?
It would teach us more.
Do you think your friends are curious?
Probably.
Do they show you or tell you how your body works?
Like
Everything, like where your pee comes from and where your poop comes from and
no.
how your ovaries work. You've had menstrual cycles already? Okay. Did you know about them before you started your period?
Yeah.
Okay. Did your mom talk to you about it? Okay. So you were familiar and you understood when it happened. Oh, that's good. So, but they don't teach that in school necessarily. Do they show you where babies come from in school?
Mm-hmm.
Is that something that you think that you would like to know?
Yeah.
Is there someone that you like, do you think?
Not now.
Not now, but before.
Before, yeah.
Okay, what age do you think kids should learn about their bodies?
Around 13.
13. Okay. What age do you think is appropriate for young men and women to learn about sex education?
Around like 14, 13.
Okay. 13 and 14. Just tell me what you know so far, and how does a young lady learn what they learn? Have you had a talk with your mom about sex education? Okay, what about school? Have they taught anything in school?
Not really.
Do you know how do you know how a girl gets pregnant?
Yeah.
Okay. To talk about this stuff? No? Do you have... How do you guys find out stuff now? Do you find out from your friends? Do you read books or on the internet? Or how do you get information?
Friends.
From friends? And so how do you know if, let's say I was your friend Susie and I said, oh, you can get pregnant kissing. Would you believe that? Do you think that girls can get honest, good information from their friends?
Not all the time.
Yeah. And do you know about condoms? Do you know what a condom is?
Yeah.
Okay. So what does a condom do?
Protects.
Okay. So the man puts the condom over his penis, and then when he ejaculates, the condom keeps all the sperm. Because when your body, you have 2 ovaries, okay? And then you have fallopian tubes, and then do you know what the woman's body looks like inside? Okay, so every month, that's what your menstrual cycle is, right? Your ovaries produce an egg, it comes down, it attaches to the wall, it comes down the fallopian tube, it attaches to the wall of the uterus, waits to get pregnant, and then when it doesn't get pregnant, it discards the blood. So when a man penetrates the woman, then and ejaculates, the sperm swim and they find the egg, and then the sperm penetrates the egg, and then it starts to multiply and creates the baby. So if you don't have the sperm exposed to the egg, you can't get pregnant. So that makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Okay. What age do you think people should have sex? Let's just say 18 or 19. Okay. Have you kissed a boy already?
Yeah.
Okay. And it feels pretty good, doesn't it? And then you know what happens when you kiss a boy, and then they get excited and they want to find out what the female body looks like, and so they're feeling their way around, and it all feels really good, doesn't it? And you're like, oh, that feels good. What if you really liked it? And then how do you decide that you can't go any further? What goes through your mind? Like, what would you say? Let's say I was the boy and I said, come on, this is going to be really good, and you should do this with me. What would you say to him, to me?
No. Because I'm not ready.
Do you think a boy should stop when a girl says no?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because otherwise, it's rape, isn't it? Do you know anybody in your school who's been raped?
Mm-mm.
No. Do you have friends that have been sexually active
No.
in school? Okay. So everybody, do you feel that your friends are educated enough to know how to behave or what's appropriate? Yeah. So let's just say you had 4 of your friends and you guys wanted to know what was going on. What would help? Where do you think you should get the information?
The nurses.
The nurses at the school?
Yeah.
Okay. Are they easier to talk to, do you think? If you had, do you have any teacher that you can think of that would be good to talk about sex ed? Not really? If they brought somebody in special, do you think kids would be comfortable talking about it?
Yeah.
Yeah? Do you know anybody in school that's gotten pregnant?
Yeah.
Yeah? Is it somebody that you know well or just somebody you've heard of?
I know her.
How old was she?
Like 15.
15. Oh, that's young, isn't it? And the baby's been born already?
Mm-hmm.
And so how old's the baby?
A year.
A year already. So is she raising the baby herself?
Yeah.
Does she have help?
Her parents.
Her parents. Have you seen her since she had the baby?
No.
Because I wondered, what do you think it's been like for her?
It's hard for her. She's young.
How would her life change now that she's got... Does she go back to school? Okay. And so, would she go back to school, do you think?
Probably not.
Do they talk about babies and the needs of a baby and how to care for a baby? If you could take a course on sex education, or all you wanted to know about your body, or everything you wanted to know about a baby, would those courses be good, do you
Yeah.
think? What about relationships? Do you know what a healthy relationship would look like?
Yeah.
Yeah? What do you see as healthy?
Like, they get along all the time. Like, there's no abuse in it.
Mm-hmm. Are you talking verbal or physical? Or both?
Both.
Okay. Because abuse is abuse, isn't it?
Yeah.
And sometimes verbal abuse can be as bad or worse than physical abuse. Do you think people should fight?
Mm, well, people are going to have their arguments,
Mm-hmm.
but other than that, no.
Right. Because you can agree to disagree. You don't have to necessarily. No relationship is going to be perfect.
Yeah.
Okay? Because you're taking two people that grew up in totally different backgrounds who have entirely different beliefs. So it's okay that you're not going to agree on everything, but it's how you have those arguments. And when they get physical, that's not a good thing. So if you could take sex education or healthy relationships, which one would you pick? Which one would
Healthy relationships.
Healthy relationships.
Yeah.
And what does it look like, and what does it feel like, and what's okay? Sex ed, what's the one thing that you would want to know that you can think of off the top of your head that you would be curious about, that you think, I would kind of like to know the real truth about that?
Like how a baby develops in you.
Okay. Have you seen pictures of babies when they're in the womb and what it looks like?
Mm.
Where do you think a young person should get their education about sex?
Schools.
The schools? Do you think parents are comfortable talking about sex to their kids?
Some, probably not all.
And so, do you think that talking about sex education in school would make a person more likely to have sex?
No.
Do you think kids, if they knew how to protect themselves, would say, oh, now I know how to protect myself so I can go out and do it? Or would they say, wow, that's really good information, and I appreciate having the information? Do you think that would be the case? Or do you think it would scare kids?
Probably. I think they would like to have it to teach them. I don't think it would scare them.
Okay. Do your friends have sisters or brothers that are in the higher grades? Do they get sex education, do you think?
I don't think so.
They don't? Do you think people have sex more at an earlier age now than back when I was a kid, or do you think it's the other way around?
I think that they do it earlier in life these days.
Mm-hmm. And how old are you?
10.
10. And what school do you go to?
Brentford.
And what grade are you?
I'm in 5th.
5th grade. In grade 5, do kids talk about sex or things like that?
No.
No. Do you find out things from your friends and you think, I wonder if that's true or not?
Well, last year we had well, he's like a nurse from the hospital and stuff, and he came to our school and was talking about like sex and all that.
And so what kind of stuff did he talk about?
Just like how, I don't know how to explain it.
Just do you learn about your body,
Yeah.
the male body and the female body?
Yeah.
Okay.
They talk about when a man and a woman are together.
Okay. And so what kind of things? Like kissing and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Oh. And does it go further than that?
No.
No? So, were you curious?
No.
Did you find it interesting? Like, did you like to learn about that stuff?
Mm,
You
not really.
No? Do you find it uncomfortable?
Yeah.
Why do you think people get embarrassed when they talk about their bodies?
I don't know.
It's funny because it's all natural, isn't it? We all almost look the same, right? Women have 2 breasts and a vagina, and boys have a penis. I mean, it's not anything that's new, but it's embarrassing when even saying the words are a little embarrassing, aren't they?
Yeah. They talk about relationships and all that.
Yeah. So do you know what a healthy relationship looks like?
No.
Do you know what a bad relationship would look like?
Yeah.
What's a bad relationship? What do you see?
I don't know.
Verbally bad or physically bad or both?
I think both.
Both? Okay. Do you think people that are married or living together should fight?
No.
No? What if you disagree with something that somebody else is doing? Is it okay to disagree?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because sometimes you're not always going to think the same.
Yeah.
But you don't have to beat somebody up if they don't agree with you.
Yeah.
Okay. When you're in school, do kids your age make fun of gay people?
Yeah.
Yeah? What do you think about that?
It's a little harsh, and I think you should stand up for.
Yeah. So do they call people gay just as a joke, or do they make people cry? Is that
They
formidable?
make people feel sad.
Yeah. Do you know what gay is?
Yeah.
What is it?
It's like a man loving another man.
Yeah. And what do you think about that?
Yeah. Everybody should be treated the way.
You would want to be treated, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And which school do you go to?
Digital Academy.
Digital Academy, and we're here in Canton, Ohio.
Yeah.
And you are almost 16?
Yeah, almost 16.
What you really, really like about your school?
You have more one-on-one attention since it's homeschooled.
Oh, it's homeschooling.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So it's more one-on-one attention, and the teachers are nicer, and the work's easier than being in school, and you can work ahead and do all your lessons and be graduated by your 11th year if you wanted to.
So part of my mission on this tour was to talk to young people to find out, because in Pueblo, where we have our donated house, they have a very, very high teenage pregnancy.
Yeah.
And my concern was, are we doing a disservice to the kids to not teach them about their bodies, to not tell them or explain to them what happens, and to talk openly about sex? And so, are you comfortable with talking about that?
Yeah.
Yeah? And so, what would you say the majority of the kids thought about the class?
They basically just thought it was stupid.
Were they embarrassed? Do they find it hard to talk about that?
Some
kind of
kids
stuff?
did.
What was stupid about it?
They said that it was stupid that they came and talked about it because they already know what sex is about. They've already had sex.
So it's too little, too late. What age is grade 7 then? 13, 14?
14.
And so they might start earlier than that. So how do kids find out what they need to know?
If some have an open relationship with their parents, they can talk to them. There's online websites. There's people that you can talk to. There's counselors that you can go and talk about it. There's a lot of different resources.
I guess there's a lot of information out there. I mean, you can just go and find out anything at any age, right? As long as you have a computer.
I never knew about the inside of a person's body, and when we learned about it, it was fascinating on how their body works.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like whenever I go to college and stuff, I want to be a body researcher, research human bodies and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and find cancer, how to cure it and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's just me, because I want to learn about the human body. I find it fascinating how humans grow and.
Yeah. Do you know how your body works as far as food and what you take in and what happens to the food and where it goes? And
some, not all.
yeah. Would that be fascinating to
Yes.
learn? I mean, everybody's bodies are the same for the most part, or at least the inside, right? We have the same needs. We need food. It has to go somewhere and it has to come out. It's human nature. And so if you understand your body and how it works, and right down to the reproductive organs and how you can get pregnant, and you know, to say condoms are useless is crazy, because condoms protect people from STDs as well, which is sexually transmitted diseases. So if somebody has herpes or something else, then you catch it if you have sex with them. So if young people knew about these things.
Me personally, I think educating the young people, like in school, about sex would be a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
Especially like at maybe 5th grade and up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I messed up. I messed up bad because I hung out with the wrong people, the wrong peers and stuff, and I totally messed up my whole future, like my plan that I had.
Tell me about your. Are you comfortable talking about it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So tell me what happened when you say you messed up. What?
I was 14, and that was the first time I decided to have sex.
Mm-hmm.
Because I thought that people told me that if you didn't have sex, that you was gonna lose the guy that you was with, and I didn't want to lose him because I thought he was like my everything. We was together for a year and a half, and I thought, okay, we're together this long, he might not leave me. So then we end up having sex, and a couple of days later, he left me because he said that he wasn't all for the sex and stuff like that, and he thought that's what I wanted. That's the reason why we had sex. And I said, that's not what I wanted. That's what people told me that you wanted.
Mm.
Most guys think that they should have sex to be cool, like, oh, I lost my virginity and stuff like that. But really, whenever, say you have a girl that has deep feelings for you and stuff, and you played her off until the point where you guys had sex, and then when you guys did have sex, you left her, and for a girl, that's heartbreaking.
Mm-hmm.
They go through all that pain.
Mm-hmm. No, you've been through it. Mm-hmm. So what advice would you give to other young ladies who are thinking the same thing? Because
the advice I would give them is, I mean, it's based on their decision on what they do, but me personally, I would make it to where me and the guy are committed for so long, and we know like so many things about each other, and we understand that if we have sex, that this is going to be an us. This isn't going to be a wham bam, thank you ma'am, like you just have sex and walk away. When a guy has sex with a girl, that he should be there for her because they shared something. But most girls think that they don't really share anything when they have sex, it's just sex. But there's times when it's just sex, but there's times when it's making love.
Mm-hmm. That's very true.
And I think that when a guy loves a woman and he makes love to her, that he should stay with her until he is unhappy. Because having sex with someone and then leaving them is like, it's the worst thing that can happen to someone.
So how does a girl know? Because if a guy is of the type where he would say anything just to get the sex, how do you know if the guy is for real? You're saying
you wouldn't know.
Right.
There's no way to know.
And if people don't talk about these kinds of things, if you don't have this ongoing communication, it makes it really tough to know, because you're in a position where the guy really wants to go this way and you really like him, and if you say no, you don't want to lose him, and if you say yes, then you lose him because he's gotten what he wanted. It's been the same for generations. Nothing's changed. You know, we still treat sex the same way.
Somebody special told me that you shouldn't walk around and try to find the right guy. You should wait for the right guy to come to you.
Yes. You be yourself, and you do all the things that make you happy, and you find that person that comes into your life who is a bonus to your life. You don't give yourself to somebody else. They come and be part of what you are looking for in your life. So if it's important for you to be a biologist or whatever you decide, do your dream first, and then that other stuff will happen. Don't focus on the relationship first, and then you. And if you find something that you're really passionate about, you won't think about having a relationship or whether this guy likes you or doesn't like you, because because you'll be so busy and so happy that it won't matter. Because right now it sounds like you're kind of a little bit lost, so you're depending on this relationship to make it all good.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, but you don't need to, because look at you. You have all this great talent.
Would you believe I was once your age? Not so long